Hi, привет! Today we're gonna talk about the verb aspect, one of the scariest nightmares for all Russian learners. Today it's gonna be the introduction video where I want to explain you the main idea of this grammar topic. So in the Russian language there are two words that can describe one action. So we have one action, to do, and we have two verbs that can describe this action. And pay attention that these are not two forms of one verb. No, these are two different verbs. And we call them imperfective verb aspect and perfective verb aspect. Imperfective aspect is nsv in Russian, and perfective is sv in Russian. Remember this abbreviation, please. Imperfective, nsv, perfective, sv. Keywords that will help you to realize the difference between nsv, imperfective aspect, and sv, perfective aspect, are process and result. Imperfective aspect represents the action as a process, and perfective aspect represents the action as a result. For Russian native speakers, imperfective verbs are regular verbs. It means that if you ask a Russian native speaker to translate the English verb to do, he will say делать. He will use the imperfective aspect for translation. So again, imperfective verbs are regular verbs for us, and perfective verbs are irregular or special ones. Important thing is that it's only you who decide which verb aspect to choose, because one situation can be described by means of imperfective and perfective verbs. Let's take a look at the example. Вчера я готовила обед. Вчера я приготовила суп и салат. There is one situation, cooking dinner, and this situation is described by means of imperfective verb готовила and perfective verb приготовила. What is the difference between these two sentences? The first sentence tells how I was spending my time yesterday. I was cooking dinner. So process is the main idea in this sentence. And the second one tells what results I achieved yesterday. Soup and salad. So result is the main idea in the second sentence. That's why I use the perfective verb there. Приготовила. Another example. Я люблю читать книги. What am I talking about here? A result or a process? How do you think? I'm talking about the process. Я люблю читать книги. Читать is the imperfective verb. I love the process of reading the book. I love sitting on the sofa with a book in one hand and a cup of coffee in another hand. I love the process of turning on the pages and reading and going deep into the story. That's why I use the imperfective verb. Читать. Я хочу прочитать эту книгу. What is important here is definitely the result. I don't imagine myself sitting on the sofa and turning on the pages. No. When I say я хочу прочитать эту книгу, I point that I want to read the final word in this book, close it, and be able to tell the plot of the book to someone. So the result is the crucial moment in this sentence. Now let me tell you a few words about the system of Russian tenses. In contrast to English, the system of our tenses is super simple. We have only present, past, and future tenses. Let's have a look how imperfective and perfective verbs work in each tense. So past tense. Conjugation of verbs there is super easy, you know that. We have imperfective verbs and perfective verbs there. Imperfective verbs писал, писала, писали. Perfective написал, написала, написали. Present tense. In present tense, pay attention now, in present tense we use only one aspect, and it's imperfective aspect. We don't have perfective aspect in the present tense. So when saying something in the present tense, you don't have to think about result or process. Just use imperfective verb. Я работаю, он работает, она работает, and so on. In the future tense, we have imperfective verbs and perfective verbs. Imperfective. Я буду работать. So as you see, we built the imperfective aspect by means of буду, будем, будут, plus the infinitive. And now pay attention. We use imperfective aspect for future actions quite seldom. More often we use the perfective aspect for future actions. Я позвоню, я скажу, я сделаю, and so on. Remember that every time when we talk about regular actions, some actions that are happening on the regular basis, we use imperfective aspect. If you see the following words: каждый день, часто, обычно, каждый год, два раза в день, and so on. So the words, the adverbs of frequency, know that you have to use imperfective aspect. For example, я бегаю каждый день. Бегаю, imperfective verb. В прошлом году я бегала 6 километров. Бегала, imperfective verb in the past tense. В этом году я никогда не буду бегать. Буду бегать, imperfective verb in future tense. So again, for regular actions we use imperfective verbs. Remember that. In future tense, more often we use perfective verbs. Now let me give you more examples and explain the idea of each of them. Я хочу готовить торт. And я хочу приготовить торт. In the first sentence, I use imperfective verb, готовить. And saying this sentence, I mean that I want to experience the process of making the cake. I want to find the recipe, buy some ingredients, go to the kitchen, make some preparations, and so on and so forth. So the process is the main idea in this sentence. And in the sentence я хочу приготовить торт, приготовить is the perfective verb. Here I mean that I want to have my cake done already. I'm not interested in the result. I want to see the cake in front of me. Я люблю рисовать цветы. And я хочу нарисовать красивый букет роз. So let's look at the first sentence. Я люблю рисовать цветы. Here I mean that I love the process of painting, of drawing. And the second sentence tells that I want to have my picture done. I want to have it finished already. Another problem that you may face with is how to distinguish between imperfective verbs and perfective verbs. Because as I've told you already, these are not two forms of the verb. These are two different verbs. That's why there are no strict rules that will help you to understand what kind of aspect you deal with. Anyway, there are some rules that will help you with it. But it's the topic for another video. So if you are interested in this video, please let me know and I will make it for you. So thanks for your attention. Have a good day. Удачи с русским. Пока.